Hi guys, in this video we're going to be looking at my Boromite army for Beyond the Gates of Antares.
Scruffy Crow.
So then, as you might have seen in my Warlord Winter intro video, I bought these guys all in one go, which is the first time I've ever done anything like that. Rather than collecting them bit by bit here and there, I did buy these all in one go, got them all processed, all out of the packets, and I bought them with a list in mind. I have picked up just one or two models since that I thought might be handy, and there is a couple of pieces that I think I will pick up before too long, just to sort of round out everything I want and take it to a solid 1,000 points. The reason I bought these was I went to a open day in Nottingham for Warlord Games, and we had a demo, and I thoroughly enjoyed the game. It had all the mechanics that I enjoyed from sort of bolt action and K-47, but using the D10 system, and the background at the time seemed pretty cool. The fractured human space dysphoria and all things like that, it all did appeal to me. And I picked up the starter set pretty much there and then. It helped there was a hefty discount on it, which is where I got the rulebook from. And I also have a small Concord force from that starter set as well. However, once I looked through the rulebook and had a look on the website at all the beautiful models, and even the beautiful models in the Warlord Games HQ itself, the faction that caught my eye straight away was these guys, was the Boromites. They've got this sort of military industrial aesthetic. What they are is genetically engineered humans, engineered to withstand harsher conditions than a normal human, and hence the sort of stony growths all over their bodies. And rather than traditional weapons, they are toting essentially altered mining machinery, especially in the case of these guys and some of the heavier weapons. So I'm going to take you now through all the different units that I've got here, and then I'll have a chat about the painting. Okay, so starting over here we have the heavy frag borer. Now this has seen better days. It went into storage in one piece and it's come back out a little bit broken, but that is because this is quite a heavy chunk of pewter here, and it's been held up on quite fine connection points inside this ring. So I'm going to have a look at getting that back together and see if we can make it a bit sturdier. We also have this mag support and a X launcher here for my artillery. And here we have a work gang with mass compactors, which are these sort of big mace type weapons, which I believe once again are meant to be sort of weaponized mining machinery. They're sort of a bit of an elite troop, and they're also supported by the Vorpal chargers at the back there. Moving more centrally, we have this group here. These guys are all armed with various different other weapons, including mag guns, these sort of normal Boromite guns, and then these tractor mauls. So these guys are an overseer squad with sort of guards or potentially leaders for these units. I said I've not completely gone through the rules yet, but that's the sort of models they are. Right over to this side we have my lava mites. Now this is one of the aspects of the force that I really liked, the idea that they sort of herded these. It reminded me of squigs from Warhammer, and I've got 2 units of handlers here, each with 3 Boromites at the moment, and 3 bases of these hatchling swarms. And these are some of my favourite models in the army. They're also some of the ones I'm most nervous about painting, because I kind of want to get some nice variation of colour, and they'll be slightly different from basically everything else. That also goes for these guys. These are Rock Riders, another unit that has taken some knocks when I put these away. And look, they've got these very narrow lances here, which are quite prone to bend. Obviously that's caused the undercoat to flake off a little bit. Back to the centre, all across the back here we've got various spotter drones. So these are some borer drones. And these support the various units, I believe, to a certain extent. A lot of units in the game can take sort of drones like that. And then as we come down to the centre, we have the sort of core of my army, which is just 2 work gangs with their regular weapons. And this is where I started my painting. I never actually got a full unit of these guys finished, but I did more or less clear up what colour scheme I was going for. So let's take a look at a couple of these. Okay, so each of these models has 3 main colour sections. The first is currently a bit of a cheat. This is just a blue wash over the grey that they're undercoated in. And I'm using that on all the sort of knobbly bits. And I probably will highlight that over something for a bit more of a textured finish. They also have more or less my normal skin recipe on the front, which is Midland flesh with a Reichland flesh wash. And this is so I wanted this skin and the knobbles to contrast quite a lot. Some of the pictures in the books have them all sort of blue-grey. Some of them have got a bit more definition. And I will lighten this up one more layer on the skin, I think, just to give them sort of slightly more human faces. The third main section is the yellow here. So this is a base coat of, I want to say, Iandan Dark Sun, and then I've been washing it with a sort of light brown wash, soft tone, and then re-highlighting back with the yellow. And I think this has been giving me the result I'm kind of looking for. And I think on the tabletop, even with these fairly low amounts of colours, they do look quite striking. There's also the black, which I'm using on various bits of belt and equipment, and that'll get highlighted with a light grey, just to make everything stand out so we get all the details. But sticking with that colour scheme, I think I can probably get the rest of these guys painted fairly easily. The main challenge being is getting the motivation to paint an army that I'm probably not going to get too many games with. But I said I bought these guys partly to get games with, partly to just own the figures, because I said the style of them and their look and the sculpts just really appealed to me. And if I end up just painting these up, putting them in a cabinet and looking at them, I'm happy with that. So as we can see from inside the book, my scheme's fairly close to the sort of studio scheme, except they've gone for a bit more of a bluer skin on the front. But that's the general look I'm going to go for. I also like the idea of my weapons being a bit darker in the middle. Whereas they've kept theirs pretty much yellow all the way across. And here's some of the artwork from the book, where yeah, they've got a bit more of a contrast in the weapon there, and a bit more of a human tone to their flesh, so that's kind of what I'm sort of heading towards as well. So yeah, so this is one of the things I'll be working on from now till Christmas. Mostly just getting these guys all painted up and getting this thing put back together. Trying to make a nice cohesive full army out of these guys, so they look really striking all together as one big force. But also, I intend to put quite a bit of detail in these guys and try and make them look quite good individually. I'm also possibly going to look into building some terrain or some sort of buildings for these guys, even if it's just a little bit of scatter terrain to sort of Boromite up whatever table I'm happy to be playing on. I think it's too late for really any conversions, and I'm probably not going to buy too much more towards this army. But hopefully, other than the painting and maybe a terrain video, I might even be able to sneak a little cheeky battle report in there, even if I have to play against my small Concord force. So, who else plays Antares? Does anyone think they know why it's maybe not as popular as some of the Warlords games? Is it something you might be interested in? Let me know down in the comments. Come and give me a shout on the Discord. Show off any models if you've got them. And as ever, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.